$500,000 in a private investigation is a lot of money. What could a private investigator do to get more information than we already have at this point?
Well, good to see you as well, Katie. You know, private investigators can do a lot more than you would think. They do have access to and fast access to a lot of different information and databases that most people would have to join or be a part of some type of law enforcement in order to get that access. So they do have that. A lot of them have been police officers, and even if they haven't been, they have great sources. So all that being said, I think that having private investigators is a great way for the Guthrie family to also bypass red tape. But here's where, when I hear these things, okay, multi-state investigation, I still believe, as I've always said on this network and on your show, that I believe she's within 2 hours. I just think when you look at the time in which this occurred, you look at the individual and his actions and the way he did it, what he was wearing and his movements, and the fact that, and I keep saying this as well, there was very little blood, but they say inside the house there were scenes of an abduction or a crime took place. That's what it was. So that tells me that there was something that occurred inside, but very little blood outside, which would tell me that she was most likely deceased before she was moved. Because if your heart's not pumping, you're not bleeding. Yeah. And so I still think that Nancy Guthrie and the Guthrie family that's looking for her, that they should be looking for Nancy within 2 hours of her home.
So, Jonathan, I mean, looking at the amount of money that they're spending on this private investigation, because you would do anything that you can, right, to try and find your missing mother. But I think it says a lot about the way the Pima County Sheriff's Department has handled this, their lack of working with the FBI, the way they handled the crime scene. We've covered all of the details on the show. And Brian Enchen, of course, has been in Tucson and doing all this amazing work to bring additional details. And we've talked to law enforcement in Tucson as well, who is frustrated with the sheriff. What does it say about his lack of investigation, the way he's handled this, and not just with this crime, but how he may be handling other crimes in his jurisdiction?
Well, I think just overall his arrogance, and as we've seen with a lot of people who are in positions that they're just not qualified to be in, they will present themselves with a persona of confidence and superior knowledge. Whereas somebody who is a real leader, who has a true understanding of what they're doing, they're not as concerned with their public image. And I know he's a politician, sheriffs are politicians, but I think when you look at the totality of his leadership and what he's done and how he sat on things, how he has bad relationships with people that he doesn't get along with, so he doesn't use their skill set, I think it's safe to say that he is in over his head, and he really is making up as he goes along. And that's a very dangerous thing, because as we see in this case, Katie, this could be a repeating issue, and most likely it is. Another thing I would do if I was the Guthrie family, I'd be getting in touch with some of these people who worked in that sheriff's department and the surrounding sheriff's departments, and I would try to enlist their help as well.
Yeah, well, we know that they refused the help from the Cajun Navy that, offered to help, not the family, but the Sheriff's Department. It'll be interesting to see how Sheriff Nanos feels about private investigators doing the work that they're not doing at this point. Jonathan, Gilliam, great to talk to you always. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.